It's time for the Nebraska Volleyball Coaches Show.
Oh, bad pass by the Red. Taylor Landfair. Left side swing. Terrell Segler on a set that came from behind her. Kaboom! Point Red. 4-3 White. Good pass by the Huskers. The slide. Andy Jackson. Kaboom! Woo-hoo! From Campbell Flynn. Served by a Harper for the White. Delaney. Bad pass for the Red. Outside set. Taylor can only roll shot it. Here come the White. Maisie, the first touch outside. Skylar Pierce. Oh, diving take beauty by T. Sigler. Results in a kill. Taylor Landfair front left. Sigler doing it all right now. Point for her red team, 7-6 White.
Now, alongside head coach Danny Bus Boom Kelly, here's your host, Jessica Coody.
And welcome everybody into our very first Nebraska volleyball show of the 2025 season. I'm Jessica Coody, pinch hitting for John Baylor tonight. He will be back for next week's show. But on that note, we welcome in for the first time, Danny Busboom Kelly. Welcome.
Oh, good to see you.
It's game week. Can you believe it?
Cannot believe it's here. Feels like just yesterday I was getting back to Nebraska and getting acclimated, and now we have our first match.
Well, if you have questions for the head coach, 402-413-2400, you can text them in. We will pass them along as we go. As Danny here with us over the next hour or so here tonight. But I guess let's go back to last Saturday. How special was that?
You know, I just thought it was just a really great event. The alumni played great. Our team played really well. You know, we had a reception afterwards where we got to mingle with the alum, and it just overall just was something that warmed your heart and just reminded you that Nebraska volleyball is a big family, and everybody was just excited for this team, but also just really excited to have had an alumni match.
Is it going to continue?
Well, I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
That's really out of my hands, I feel like. We'll have the game if we can find enough alumni to play and to make a good competitive team. But that's not as easy as people think, is getting these alumni back. You know, they have to be in shape. They have to be available. You know, they don't, even if they're playing pro, sometimes they don't want to risk getting injured if they haven't played in 3 months. So there's a lot that goes into it. So I was just really grateful for the alum that did play and, you know, agreed to play against us without touching a ball in a long time, and they were great.
Who impressed you the most on the alumni squad?
Man, a lot of them did, which is crazy. I mean, Kelly Hunter was great. I see her set a little bit in practice, but she doesn't really play. So to see her actually play was pretty fun. But, you know, I think the recent grads, you know, Lindsay Krause and Allie Bainhorst played great. And, of course, Jordan Larson it never fails. She's just continues to play and be really good, and she's just so smart, and she's fun to watch.
You said that in your pregame with JB that, you know, with Jordan, she just is so cerebral about finding ways to score even when it's not maybe the most powerful or strong hitting.
Well, we always call it old lady ball. It's like you're going to get a kill with a tip or throw it down or tool the block, and then every once in a while she'll swing with power. So it's fun to play players like that.
I was going to ask you how you evaluated Kelly's setting.
I didn't really evaluate it, but I just thought for not playing for a long time, she did a great job. But we joked, setters, you know, as a former setter, it's much easier when you're not really caring about winning or losing, when you're just playing free. So it's something to learn for our current setters, that's a great mentality to have.
Well, you had mentioned that they provided a great, challenge for you. What would you take away from the film after you dove into that?
You know, we have a lot to work on, but we improved so much from the red-white game, and that was one of the best things to see. Is on film, you could see the improvement, the things we were working on the most. We performed well in the alumni game, so I was very fired up to walk away and feel that way. Now, digging, you know, going up against hitters that aren't each other, you know, showed us that we have some improvement to do there. But other than that, I thought it was a really good, clean match.
So how does it change now this week, being that you have the game and you're moving into this game week? Does it change much what you guys attack and practice?
Well, this week it's a lot more tactical, just getting ready to play Pitt. And, you know, of course, we don't know who their whole starting lineup will be, but you can see a lot from tendencies from last year, and some of their players are back, so we can prep for some of them without really prepping the whole their whole rotations. So we'll work a lot on getting ready for some of those players, and that'll be a big bulk of our practice. But then another bulk is just settling into a lineup as much as we think we can. I do think that will change somewhat throughout the year, but to kind of settle into a core and get comfortable with that going into Friday.
I know you've talked a lot about mixing up and competing with so many players. Is that something you foresee continuing to do throughout the whole season? And how do you balance that now?
For sure. We'll continue to do that here and there in practice, but we'll also work on specific rotations and the lineup we think we're going to use the next coming weekend.
Well, does it feel different for you this game week, or does it feel like every other game week? You've talked a lot about just being you and doing you. Does it feel like a typical opening week?
I feel like it's a little different just because this is a new team, and even though I've been with Nebraska since February, this is our first real game week, and the first one that means something, and that winning and losing matters. So I think there's a little personalities that we're like, okay, this is Danny in game week, and I'm learning about the team. So there's a little bit of learning there, but it's all good. It's just a little different.
I know you've always challenged your teams with scheduling. Do you like having this kind of opening weekend challenge?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm not necessarily thrilled it's Pitt and Stanford, two teams that I've played against a lot. But I am very excited to have great competition coming out the gate. I think it's the best way to learn, and that was always my philosophy before. Schedule tough in the non-conference so we can figure things out early. The earlier you can figure it out, typically the better season you're going to have later.
We'll dive into previewing those two later on in the show, but I did want to go back because I think it's so interesting, and people have talked a lot about this, but your philosophy on just mixing things up and being competitive in practice, why is that important for you? What do you hope to achieve in being able to do that with your roster?
Well, you just want to put each player you can in the toughest positions, so in matches that it feels easy. And so if you're always playing with the same people, that gets really comfortable. If you're always going against the same people, that gets comfortable. And I want our best players going against our best players. So I want our best attacker going against our best blocker. They might both be starting on the weekend, but in practice, they're going to be able to challenge each other.
What did you like about Bergen on Saturday in the alumni match?
Yeah, I thought she played great and just set great tempo the entire match and got everybody involved. I thought overall she had a really, really great performance.
Do you feel like you had talked about settling into a lineup? Do you feel pretty good about that right now at this point going into this weekend?
I don't know if I feel great. I guess I feel good, but I feel great with the fact I have a lot of confidence we can make changes if we need to. But I guess that makes me feel like it's a little unsettling to not be 100% certain you're making the right decision as a coach. However, again, I feel good about changes we can make.
How do you also go about, for so many players, so many talented players, just them handling a role, whatever that might be? Maybe it's not as big of a role in the starting weekend, but just to stay at it, I guess, and stay locked in no matter what.
Just a lot of conversations. And again, if you're giving everybody chances in practice, then hopefully they can see, why you're making decisions and why you're not making decisions. So getting everybody really involved in practice and making sure everybody's, maxing out their talent is super important, whether that's a starter or not. We want to see every player max out their abilities at the end of the year.
Another thing I've been asked a lot about, too, is just the pressure of being the number one team going in. And not a lot of teams, some teams might approach it a different way, but you guys are embracing it. And hey, we want that number one. How do you get a team that it's not pressure, but it's we want that kind of expectation?
Well, I definitely think there's pressure, and everybody's saying, Nebraska's so good this year, they're the deepest team, and we hear all that, but our whole team is really mature in the fact we aren't letting that affect the way we train or our attitudes, because we're all well aware that doesn't mean anything at the end of the year.
You had a lot of players coming back that have played a lot of volleyball, really good talent, but how much fun has this freshman class been for you?
Freshmen have been super fun. They don't act like freshmen on the court or off the court. They're all very confident people, and they are challenging the returners as much as you could possibly want, and they're going to reap the benefits of that either now or later. So they're really an awesome group.
They don't interview like freshmen either. We had them all on this summer, and they're impressive.
Very impressive.
I guess it just is, and another thing that people have asked me a lot about, just unbelievable, just their perspective. And it's kind of one of those things, you know what you're signing up for Nebraska volleyball when you're the top freshman and you want to come compete here, right?
Yeah, you can look at the current, players, you can look at the commits, so you know a little bit about what you're going to have in each position and what challenges you might face. And it says a lot about the program that, they still want to be here. And I always tell them, if you're going to challenge yourself, every top program you're going to be challenged, and why not challenge yourself at a place like Nebraska where you're going to get taken care of at the highest level possible. You're going to be around great people, and there's going to be more than just your volleyball family that will do everything they can to help you achieve your goals.
They're not scared either.
No, they're not.
What's neat too is, Kenna and Mania played really well, and they were not here in the spring. So the fact that was their first time in Devaney, they did not seem like they had any nerves at all.
No, and it was cool to see, Kenna played awesome in the red-white scrimmage, and the Mania played awesome in the alumni game. So just to see them both get that experience so early was really rewarding, and gave us a lot of confidence as a coaching staff that we can use those guys if we need them.
The Nebraska Volleyball Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, where people don't have your money has people. Another thing that's come up a lot about you when I've interviewed players or even your staff is just your open dialogue, and your wanting to have those conversations and hear input from everybody, and that openness. Where did I guess along the way did you find that you wanted to be able to have that, where players want to have those conversations with you, your staff feel comfortable giving their input as well?
Well, they're all here for a reason. So, you hire staff for their opinion, and you want them to have as much ownership as you do. And I want my staff to be laying awake thinking, how can we beat Pitt, not just me? And if I don't give them any ownership, that's hard for them to do that. Then from a player standpoint, the best teams are player-led, and so you want to make sure that you're involving them in even small decisions, big decisions and small decisions, and then there is more ownership in that. And I've found that players buy in, and they feel like, it's their team, not just the coach's team.
How does scout work for you when you guys are preparing for teams?
We have a great crew of practice players, and we have a lot of players that can, they can be the opposing players, and they can do things those guys do. So we go through a lot of just rotations and player tendencies, and then, but we always end with playing each other and doing some 6-on-6 where we're just working on being us.
Do you guys each take a team, or is it everybody all involved with every team?
Oh, pretty much everybody involved with every team.
Yeah.
On these fast weekends, there might be a couple people that get ahead of maybe the opponent we play the second day. But in volleyball, there's not, 80 plays you're trying to break down. So it's not quite like football or even basketball. It's more knowing players. Mm-hmm. And so typically you can focus on game by game.
All right, let's go ahead and work at our first break here on our Nebraska Volleyball Show. Again, 402-413-2400 is that number if you want to text in, be a part of the show tonight. Contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. More with the Nebraska Volleyball Show coming up after this.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Jeff Brandt in Hastings, Kelly Schilke in Imperial, or Rick Missioner in Beatrice.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Your next vehicle is waiting for you at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab 4x4. Explore our current offers in-store or online today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit, must own and trade in a 2011 or newer passenger car or truck. Tax, title, license, extra, $299 doc due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. Stock number V2500770. Offer expires September 2nd, 2025. See dealer for details.
The Nebraska Volleyball Show is brought to you by League One Volleyball. Visit lovb.com for tickets. Welcome back to our Nebraska Volleyball Show with the head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly. I'm Jessica Coody. Hey, how about that? John Cook got a new job, and Lauren was joking he got 2 new jobs over the last couple of weeks. I know Jordan Larson's going to be really involved in Love Volleyball. It's great opportunities for the players that want to have something when they're done playing college volleyball.
For sure. I mean, the pro volleyball is huge, and just being able to have it in the U.S. and more opportunities just is better. There's more jobs. Everything about it is a positive. So hoping these leagues stick around and that continue to thrive.
Okay, got a text for you on the text line. Emma in Springfield wanted to know what was the easiest part of the coaching transition.
Honestly, it was the team, just how welcoming they were, how excited they were. And of course, you know, losing John was hard, but they were excited to have a new coach and just made me feel at ease that the team was going to be okay. And then it allowed me to, take care of some family stuff, which was great. And so the team, for sure, very grateful for them and the way they treated me and welcomed me and trusted me.
You've talked a lot, too, about the staff and just that they've been here, they've been around. They were able to help you know, even, hey, you got to go to this radio show tonight. Just all the things that kind of go along. It has to be helpful in a transition, too, that they're so familiar with how everything goes around here.
For sure. And I don't think this would have gone nearly as smoothly if the staff wouldn't have stayed. And, again, going into beach volleyball, which, I coached when I was an assistant here, but haven't thought 1 second about beach for 8 years. And then having a baby and being gone during camps. And it just was really awesome to have them and help show me the ropes, even though I think I know quite a few of the ropes. There's so many things that have changed and that are different now.
We talked to Allie Batenhorst last week. She's moving over to the beach. Did you play any beach?
Not seriously, just for fun. I feel like there's a couple things I would have done if pro volleyball or beach volleyball was bigger. When I got done playing, I might have tried to go one of those routes, but.
Well, hey, a big question that we've gotten asked a lot about is those team captains. And you had said last week that it was going to be maybe either right before or right after this alumni match. You have an announcement yet? Or
We don't have an official announcement yet, but there will be one soon, yes.
It's coming. All right, so stay tuned for that. That will be out really soon. So I did want to ask you about Virginia and just her transition. You've talked a lot about just the transition from playing international to college. What are some of those adjustments that you have to figure out when you make that move over?
The speed. I think international volleyball is a little bit slower pace typically because the players are just bigger and stronger and older. And I think little quirks about our warm-ups are really long and they're a certain way, and then we go into the locker room between game 2 and 3. So I think just the quirks like that are wait, what are we doing here? So she's had to get used to that. But as far as on the court, I just think the pace and then a little bit of the blocking, some of the techniques we use, they don't teach as much in Europe. So she's been awesome, though, of wanting to learn and embrace all those and, get better.
Has she given any Italian lessons?
Not yet, so we'll get to that.
It's funny how when she's back to serve, they're doing the Italian. They have some fun stuff back there.
Oh yeah, I haven't even seen all of it, so I'll have to pay attention.
She also needs some cooking lessons as well.
Yes, for sure.
Andy Jackson was another one I wanted to ask you about. She looked really great. Seemed like on Saturday as well.
She, she's always great. So she was great last year, an All-American, and I think she's really improved in her defense, especially blocking from last season and from what I saw from her last season. And she's really confident there and just more confident attacker of knowing that she's probably going to see a lot of blocks, but she has to score regardless of what she sees. That's what we need from her. So she's embracing that and just becoming a more well-rounded volleyball player. I think you saw her serve against the Alumni game, and she was really consistent with that and tough. So just really proud of the progress she's making. And I think there's a lot left in the tank for her, which is rare to say about a player of that caliber.
Can we expect her to continue to serve?
Yes, if she's confident back there, we'll keep her back there serving. She's got one of the tougher serves on the team.
Why is that?
I think because she's athletic, so where she's contacting the ball is from a much higher point than, let's say, Macy. So Macy has to be a little more creative with her placement and the way she moves the ball, but Andy is so much higher, so she can contact the net at a different spot to send it at a more downward angle.
What's gone into her being able to add that element to her game this year?
No, just the opportunity that you have a chance to serve this year. We want you to serve. And just getting older. Honestly, that sounds like a very cliche answer, but she's a little more confident, been here for 2 years, and so she's just a little older. And I think also, older you get, you understand serving can really affect the game, and most players want to be a part of that.
What does that do when you can keep her out there to serve?
really doesn't do anything. It's just she serves and it's tough serve. So.
Yeah. Okay. Allie Check is another one I wanted to ask you about because I think we're going to be able to get her involved here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hopefully.
She's majoring in broadcasting and has reached out, and she seems like a really awesome person.
She is an amazing person, and I just told her in front of the whole team, I thought today she had one of her best practices of the year. So she's getting more comfortable, and she's just a joy to be around. I know our team really loves her, and she brings up joy in everybody else just with the person that she is.
She's going to give me and JB the boot.
Maybe.
Co-host your show.
She's a pretty talented individual.
She is. You have liked from the start that she is pretty aggressive and doesn't tip much.
Right. Yeah, I actually think, speaking of that, I haven't seen her tip much in games. So she swings away, and her block is really improved, and I think she always was a pretty good blocker, but here in the last couple of weeks, it's come alive. So that's been awesome to see, because that's what you want from your right sides, is to be a shutdown blocker.
I think we got a couple of questions going in. Andy in Phoenix said, not only worrying about the program, how hard is it to balance both home and work with a new baby?
Oh, it's pretty difficult. I'm not going to lie. And I think having two is another animal than one. But I'm very grateful. I have an awesome support system at home and at work. So that's helped a lot. But really just carving out time and not thinking I have to work every every minute of every day. So this morning I took my son on a little breakfast date because I know it's going to be a lot of nights away this weekend. And so wanted to make sure I got a little extra time with him. So doing those little things helped me feel better about leaving those guys. But again, I have an amazing support system, and having both my parents and my husband's parents here has been extremely helpful.
Does your older son like being in the gym?
He does. He's just a little rowdy right now. So, I think one more year and he'll be a little better listener, but he loves the volleyball girls. They've come over for a team meal, and he just thinks it's great when they're over, and they are so sweet to him, and that makes it really fun.
I asked Kelly Hunter about this on the dig the other day, but which of your players would you most trust to babysit?
That's tough, because I honestly would trust a lot of them. You'd be surprised by how much they like kids and how good they are with kids. So I can't even give you one. I'd trust a good handful.
I think you can see that just with the fan day and the interactions with there's all ages of people, and they just how genuine they are. Not all people that age are that good with so many different age people.
Yeah, and they really are really genuine, and they also understand that a lot of eyes are on them. And so if they're not genuine, I think that gets pointed out pretty quickly. So I think it's one of the best parts about being a Nebraska volleyball player is that you have a floor to impact the community, or you have the means to impact the community. And our team takes that pretty seriously.
We talked about that too. I mean, a lot of other sports, you come in, it might take you being a good performer before you have this following, but you go to your camps, and these freshmen that haven't played a single match for you have this huge following. People, the little girls want to do TikToks with them and take all these photos. I mean, you step on campus here and you're already a superstar. That's an adjustment too.
For sure. And then when you have exposure in the spring, Ryan Hunter played amazing against Kansas, and now her exposure is even greater in just a matter of 3 months. So it's just part of being a volleyball player, but also, a reason why this is such an attractive place.
So with all the talent, does it stress you out at all? Like how you're going to figure out how to play everybody?
And I'm very transparent with our team that this is something that stresses me out. And I want nothing more than to see all of them play. And they've all earned it. But the bottom line is we can only write down 7 players on the lineup. And there's only so many points in each game to play different players and to experiment. So trying to get them to understand that, if they're not, the role they have now could change by the end of the year, but also it all matters long term, and really hoping they understand their long-term plan, not just the plan this week, because everybody has a plan for this program, and they're here for a reason. Whether it's right now or not, they're going to impact this program one way or another.
Great stuff. All right, let's go ahead and work in another break here on our Nebraska volleyball show. Like Husker Athletics, your retirement deserves a game plan with a solid foundation. Stonebridge Wealth Systems, local advisors, a disciplined process. The Retirement Compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Back with more with the Nebraska volleyball show coming up right after this.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Turn up the heat during the Honda Summer Event at Woodhouse Honda. Drive off in style with limited time offers happening now. Lease the 2026 Honda Civic two-wheel drive Sport for $299 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Shop in-store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at woodhousehonda.com. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, security deposit waived, $24.99 due at signing, plus first payment and $2.99 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GH260025. Offer expires 8/31/2025. See dealer for details.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to our Nebraska volleyball show. I'm Jessica Coody, here with the head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly. Got a couple segments left here in this hour. So I had some fun questions I wanted to ask you. First of all, are we going to see a return of the Blazers?
Of course. I kind of regret making that a thing because now I can't get rid of it. But I've got a lot of blazers in my closet, so I'm going to wear them and hopefully have some new fun ones.
How do you find them? How do you go about finding which
everywhere.
ones? Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have certain ones you wear for certain match? Like, are there any, I guess, superstitious ones or superstition ones?
Yeah, usually if I lose in a blazer, I have to break it in again in a game I feel like we have a great chance to win. So I don't like to wear a loser like twice in a row.
And then what about the shoe game? Does that
not much of a shoe game anymore?
Okay.
So I'm getting too old for heels or anything fancy. So a lot of hopefully some cool Adidas shoes.
How did that become a thing for you?
The blazers?
Uh-huh.
It went back to the players at Louisville. Anna Stevenson, who she was an alternate for the last Olympics, but she would always ask me what I was going to wear and what shoes I was going to wear. And she always thought it was so cool when I wore heels because it was like a powerful woman. And then we got talking about blazers, and it was a joke about the red sequin blazer that turned into an actual blazer that I wore, and that started it all. So it just kind of started as joking around with the team and just her basically asking what I was going to wear all the time.
That's awesome. I also had a little birdie tell me you're a pretty good golfer. You like to golf.
I'm okay. I can hit it pretty far, but since I've had my first son, I haven't golfed very much. So that game's gone down a little bit, but I can hold my own. I'm at least to the point where I'm not embarrassing, and I've parred a few holes in my day. So
do you find you played all these sports growing up, like you still like to have that competitiveness even outside of volleyball?
Not as much, to be honest. Like I don't.
It's more enjoyable.
I don't get competitive with golf. There's a few things I'll get competitive with my husband, but even those days are dying down. Now it's going to be the kids, and my son who's 3 he's pretty good at golf and baseball, and you can tell he likes to swing bats and things. So we'll see what he ends up really enjoying.
You like to scramble? I like to scramble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely like to scramble. I'm also like a 13 holes. 18's a bit much. 9 is a little too short.
So stop at 13.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have some fun questions. Maybe get to know the team a little bit more. So who on the team would most likely to become a coach?
Probably Bergen.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Who on this team would you most likely let style you?
Style. Well, Andy or Virginia.
Yeah?
Virginia coming from Italy, I feel like Italians have great style, and then Andy has always wanted to do fashion and design, and so those two would be top of my list.
I got a funny story about Andy. I was telling her because everybody's on TikTok these days, and I saw her at the training table, and the night before was a road match, and I said, Andy, your skin was glowing. You should do like a TikTok skincare regimen. And she goes, oh my gosh, that's so sweet, but it was just sweat.
Sounds like Andy.
Yeah, she's precious. Okay, most likely to be the best roping partner for Coach Cook.
Ooh, I don't know that one. I don't know a thing about roping, so that's a better question for him.
Okay, we'll have to ask him. What show would you like to have a cameo in?
These are hard questions. I watch probably Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Ted Lasso fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that show.
Isn't there a new season out?
Or it's coming out. I don't know if it's out yet.
Do you like different series when you have time? Or?
Oh, yeah. My husband and I love to watch TV shows, but since the baby, he still sleeps in our room, and so there's been no TV watching for the last 3 months.
Okay, best meal of the day.
Today?
No, just of any day. What's your favorite meal?
Oh, the best meal. I love brunch on the weekend, going out for brunch.
I like that. Favorite non-volleyball athlete?
Oh, I grew up watching a lot of baseball with my dad, so, I would probably say a baseball player, but
What was the team you guys watched?
The San Francisco Giants. So
are you still a Giants fan?
Like Barry Bonds, but he's not. He got booted from the Hall of Fame, so I don't know if that should be somebody I look up to. But Watched a lot of San Francisco Giants.
You still a Giants fan?
Yeah, of course.
That's awesome. All right, well, that was fun. We'll go ahead and work at another break, and we'll talk this coming weekend preview, the couple matches coming up right after this. So keep it here on our Nebraska Volleyball Show.
This life we love has never been easy. We've been blessed with million-dollar rains, and we've watched hope dry up. Still, we press on because our purpose is greater. Central Valley Ag prepares the table alongside our farmers, not just to grow food, but to nourish our families and our communities. At this table, everyone's welcome. Join us. We're saving you a seat. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We're recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Joe Methy in Kearney, Jackie Rowan in Lexington, or Megan Fales in Cozad today.
CVA's Power Products are the go-to solution for farmers and ranchers seeking top-tier animal feed, ensuring your animals receive the precise nutrients they need. For a limited time, be entered to win 2 CVA horse power tubs or 2 power cow tubs with purchase of any power tub at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. Welcome back. Final segment here of our Nebraska Volleyball Show with Danny Busboom Kelly. I'm Jessica Coody. Got several texts rolling in for you. Dennis wants to know what trip in the Big Ten are you most likely looking forward to?
I'm excited to go out to the LA schools, and I've actually never played at UCLA or USC as a player or a coach. We played a little beach at USC when I was an assistant here, but I've never even seen the indoor courts at those 2 schools. So
be a fun trip.
Yes, really fun.
And we're also learning that Danny also likes high chews as well. It's a hit around here. Kelly always raids our jars when she comes up here.
Love high chews. You know, they don't have any dyes, so we actually let our son have high chews.
So he's a fan of high chews too. That's awesome. This is from Tori in Norfolk. She said, hi, Coach. Welcome home and congratulations on all of the changes in life. I have followed your career since I line judged your state volleyball match against Christina Hotelling at Lincoln East. What would present day Danny go back and tell high school Danny?
Man, that is such a blast from the past.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember playing Hotelling for sure. When it comes to just high school in general, just to not worry what other people think and be yourself. I mean, it's so hard to do as a young high school girl. So that would be number one. And then as an athlete, just to really, trust your teammates, trust your coaches, and enjoy the moment. Because that also goes by really fast. We tell our players at Nebraska that, which is true. You blink and 4 years is over. That's how I felt about high school. It goes by way, way too fast.
Good stuff. Tim in Minnesota asked about your thoughts on Louisville, how they will fare going into their new direction. It's such a unique story in that the way that it all went, it just doesn't happen in college athletics these days. I think it's just such a cool story.
It is, and Louisville is going to be great this year. And as much as I would love to have coached my entire career with Dan Meskey, I knew that was probably unrealistic. So I'm happy that he got to take over Louisville, and we worked so hard together to build that program. So special to see him take over. And they had a super talented freshman class come in and a lot of great returners. So there's no doubt they're going to be just fine this year.
It just, with the transition of how Louisville handled it, and then you were able to talk to both your teams, and I know that's something that's been talked about. It just, there was no ill will towards either place. It just is really cool and unique that it happened the way that it did.
Well, for sure. And the players at Louisville understood, this is home for me. And on top of that, it's Nebraska. I don't think too many people will judge you for going to the best volleyball program in the country. And for them then to know that Dan is taking over and who they already knew so well and were comfortable with, it just made it very easy for everybody to stay.
I've seen a couple of your former players post that now they're both Louisville and Nebraska fans.
Yes.
That's cool too.
Very sweet.
Okay, so another question roll in. Who is the mother of the volleyball team?
Ooh, I don't. I
Bergen?
think they're different. Probably Bergen was the first one that came to mind, but I do think like Rebecca can be in certain moments. I think Harper can be. I think we have a mix. It's kind of like a leadership, motherhood by committee, I'd say.
Mark just weighed in. Good to see Danny is a San Francisco Giants fan. Not a ton of us around these parts. GBR. Going back to Rebecca, and when we had her on back in May, she talked about how she had to adjust how her relationships catered to each person, that she was, for the first couple years, one way to everybody, and she realized to be the leader she wanted to be, she had to approach people differently. Yeah. And not everybody has that kind of maturity to understand that I need to change how I speak to certain people in certain ways.
Right. I think she took that to heart and works really hard to do that, and is the first one to admit if she does something that upsets somebody and want to make that right. So she's always learning and evolving, and that's what makes her, really special leader, is it's somebody who takes it very, very seriously and wants to improve at it every single day.
For that being one of the big questions, is how you were going to have people step into the tremendous leadership roles that were left behind with Lexi and Merritt. I think you got some good options there, and it seemed like a lot of great leaders.
For sure. That's the challenge, though. We have almost too many great leaders, and you have to have followers to have a great team. So that will be, I think, something that is evolving, especially throughout this preseason, is leadership and following and, making sure that we can have talented leaders, but also that they're pulling the team in the right direction.
All right, just got a few minutes left. Let's talk about this week, and how excited are you that it's finally time to play a match?
I'm excited. It's at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and there hasn't been a match in there, so that's a pretty special way to start off my career here.
And you guys will get to get in there and get a feel for the court and all that on Thursday?
A little bit on Thursday, but since this is not a Nebraska event, every team gets equal time, and it's a home game, but not really. They really want to make it as equal. It's the preseason mini Final Four and kind of a celebration to kick off the college volleyball season. So the AVCA is really doing it the right way, and we're excited to be a part of it. And again, I'm really fired up to play in Pinnacle Bank Arena.
All right, a team you're pretty familiar with in Pitt up first. Tell us about the challenges of Pitt.
Yeah, it was funny playing Pitt right out of the gate. I thought I was getting away from them. We played them every year twice, most years 3 times, because it seems like we always saw them in the tournament at the end. But Olivia Babcock's back, the reigning National Player of the Year, and she's very, very good. She's going to be a challenge, and you're going to probably expect them to set her more balls, just the people they lost last year. She's going to get more attempts, and they had a player who, didn't play a lot the last couple of years, but was a top 10 recruit and, really a talented player. Played on even when she wasn't playing at Pitt, she was still making U19 and U21 national teams. So we're going to get to see her for the first time, and that's a little uneasy because it's somebody who's been training behind the scenes all this time, who is really, really good, and playing on these USA teams. So those two players are pretty exceptional. And then Pitt's they play hard and they hit hard. They're trained to go for it, and the way they play defense and they cover is really, really gritty. So it's really tough to get a kill against them. So a lot of challenges coming on Friday.
I feel like Olivia's played college volleyball for like 10 years.
I know, and she's only a junior. It's crazy.
I'm sure that's what people felt about Lexi Rodriguez.
Probably.
How do you slow her down?
She's going to get her kills, and you want to do your best against her, but not obsess over that, and make sure that you're still great with everybody else on the team. Volleyball is a sport. One player can't beat you, so we need to keep that into perspective.
And then do you already look at Stanford, or do you do one game at a time?
Well, we looked at Stanford early in the week as a team, and, we kind of prepped the team we're going to play second early, and then hopefully Saturday in between games when we come back to Stanford, our team will be like, oh, yeah, I remember we did this, and some of that will come back to them. But they're a little different because they don't return quite as many players, and especially in key positions. So we're not really sure what system they're going to run or what lineup they're going to be in.
So what are then, I guess, the keys that for Stanford, and what are, if you don't know much about them, but how do you prepare your team for that?
I think it's more just preparing our team to have two really tough opponents back to back, and to just be prepared for that right out of the gates is really unique. When usually maybe you have a home tournament, you have one premier team, but the other two teams are kind of warm-ups. This is way different. This is two teams that could be in the Final Four at the end of the year that we're playing in August. So again, preparing them to be great 2 matches in a row, I think, is the biggest challenge. And then Stanford, they're the most storied volleyball program in history when you really think about it. They have the most national championships. I think that's still true. So they're always a program that everybody knows is going to be good.
So what will you be looking for out of your team here in this opening weekend?
I want us to be really aggressive with everything we do. So serving, has that continued to improve? Attacking, I want to see us going for it, really pretty low percentages tipping. I want to see Bergen run a really good, crisp offense. And Campbell, there's potential we could use both of them this weekend. And to really have that change be seamless, and to have our tempo and location as good as it can be this early in the year. I realize there's going to be some miscues as we're all learning about each other, and that will eventually evolve. But I want us to play at the level we're at in practice in the matches.
Going to be pretty loud in there too.
I would think. It's mostly Nebraska fans.
Leave it to Husker fans to sell out, and it's going to be rocking for 3 great days of volleyball inside PBA.
Yes, really great.
And a fun debut for you as well, as you mentioned.
Absolutely.
So, great stuff. Thank you for being here. First one in the books.
All right.
We'll let you deal with JB next week.
All right. Sounds good.
For the head coach, Danny Busboom-Kelly, joining us here on our Nebraska volleyball show. Again, coming up, AVCA First Serve on Friday night, a 6 o'clock start there. And we will have a pregame show starting for you at 5 o'clock with Lauren and JB. And then number 6 Stanford coming up 2:30 on Sunday, so 1:30 pregame for you there. All right, that's going to do it. Hour number 1 with the Nebraska Volleyball Show. We got a full another hour of Sports Nightly coming up next. Kyle Crooks going to join me and talk some Husker football and preview Cincinnati. Continue those previews as well. So keep it here. Full other hour of Sports Nightly coming up next here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Woodhouse Hyundai makes it simple to shop for your next vehicle. Receive 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Hyundai Palisade. And when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit us online at woodhousehyundai.com or woodhouseplacehyundai.com today. with approved credit, tax title, license extra. Must finance with Hyundai Motor Finance, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 9/1/25. See dealer for details.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start. Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See shelter agents Jeff Bond or Reed Duvall in Lincoln, or Agent Victoria Watkins in Nebraska City.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Good evening, Husker Nation. I'm David Sotek reporting from our studio, and the Sports Ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. First, the Nebraska women's bowling team released their schedule for the upcoming season today, and the 10-tournament season is highlighted by two big events. First, the Big Red Invitational is back and will be in Lincoln on February 20th through the 22nd. Also, the Conference USA Championships in Harahan, Louisiana will mark the first conference tournament in school history since the varsity's program beginning in 1998. Next, Nebraska women's gymnastics is adding a new coach to the roster. Head coach Heather Brink announced today that Montana Rawl will be the next assistant coach of the squad. These last 3 years, Rawl was the choreographer and lead beam coach for Omaha Gymnastics Academy, and during her time there, she contributed to over 29 regional titles and 12 national qualifications. And finally, we are officially a month away from Husker basketball action, and opening night will happen for the public once again on Friday, September 19th. This interactive, fan-friendly event will take place on Canopy Street between R and Q Streets, and the streets by the rail yard and Pinnacle Bank Arena will be closed for the event. The festivities begin at 6:30 p.m. and will showcase both the men's and women's basketball teams, with admission being completely free. The Sports Ticker was brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, their retirement compass. Visit StoneBridgeIWM.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Creighton's got it. Center dump. Kendra, wait, no. Nebraska bumps it again. Harper for the match. Off the ticket out. Call the grandkids. They did it. 15-10. Set 5. Nebraska keeps beating Creighton. 23-0 all time. That was a volleyball match.
Gets the snap, back to throw, steps, throws, intercepted, picked off Malcolm Hartzog at the Nebraska 43-yard line. It's his fourth career INT.
Horn has the sign. He comes set, and the 3-2 pitch. Popped up, playable, shallow left. Carey makes the call, backing up, and he makes the catch on his 118th pitch. Ty Horn has 8 shutout here in the championship.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome in, hour number 2, Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody here with Kyle Crooks joining me for this second hour. And we have breaking news. We have another Major League Baseball team in the fold, the San Francisco Giants.
Yes, her favorite team, DBK's favorite team, San Francisco Giants.
So now we're making their way around the major leagues.
Well, you don't have a Major League team. We've gone. Are you Oklahoma City, I think it's the Dodgers AAA affiliate?
Yeah, no, I don't follow it.
You never went to a game by
but
accident?
I didn't follow it. No.
They're like right in Bricktown, right?
Yes,
that stadium.
Yep. I mean, it's a cool ballpark, and I know the Nebraska actually played there as a part of the Big 12 tournament before they moved over to the Big 10. So I know they played down there. A lot of, I think Ben and even Nate Rohr was down there, and they like the venue, but no, I mean, I went to games there, but I certainly didn't follow all the moves of the AAA baseball team.
You didn't follow who got optioned down in AAA?
I did. Now, I will say Clayton Kershaw made a couple of rehab starts there.
Oh, he did?
It was pretty wild there.
So I did a season in AA in Jacksonville, and even in Jacksonville, it was a Dodgers affiliate at the time, and Clayton Kershaw actually pitched for, I think it was the Jacksonville Suns at the time, but they were a Dodgers affiliate. So that was back in 2009. So all these places, they change affiliations and they have different organizations that are tagged with them. So interesting. Yeah, I've had the chance to see a lot of great rehab assignments in my time.
Yeah, and there's with the Storm Chasers up there in Omaha, they've got a great ballpark too. You should get up there.
Omaha Storm Chasers. So one of my good friends, who now is one of the radio voices of the Kansas City Royals, was the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Jake Eisenberg, for a couple years. So I do have some connections to that area. I do want to, too. I've never been to the College World Series.
Okay.
Because I covered a lot of softball at Florida,
Yeah.
and the Gators have been here as part of the College World Series a couple of years ago. Of course, they had Jack Caglione, who's now playing with the Kansas City Royals. So I've never had the chance to experience TD Ameritrade Ballpark.
Got to get up there. Also got to go participate in the shot challenge at Rocco's. The Jello shot challenge.
You think I survived doing that? I don't know if I should do that.
You got to be a part of it if you're going up there.
If LSU is in the College World Series, they're going to win that every single year, just like they did They won it this year, did they not? By a lot.
Yeah.
I believe they did.
It was not even close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they dominated. If LSU's in it, I don't know if anybody can hang
They like
with them.
to party in Baton Rouge.
I actually thought Arkansas might give them a run for their money, and they did not. So
no, it wasn't close.
It was not even. It doesn't help that you've got like superstars like Livy Dunn and going in there and buying a bunch of rounds for people either.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Nebraska makes that run one day to head to Omaha,
Nebraska will beat it.
Husker fans will go eye to eye with the LSU Tigers.
They will take down that record.
Yes, it'll be like one of those shots of a boxing match, the weigh-in, where you have LSU fans just staring at Nebraska fans in Rocco's. They would go at it. I can't wait for that day.
We did have a little bit of baseball, softball news, and that the NCAA announced that they are going to actually seed 1 through 32 as opposed to 1 through 16, and a move that needed to happen, I think.
Yeah, I think there's been, I covered it closely from a softball perspective. It's the same for baseball as well. I think you see a lot of the top end number 2 seeds going to regionals where you're not rewarding, say, a 4th overall national seed is getting a really tough 2 seed because geography plays a factor. Now with this, you're seeding half the field, so 1 through 32. You're going to have it where the top overall seed in softball, say, is Oklahoma, is probably going to play the worst of the 2 seeds. So you have situations where you have good teams that get unfortunate luck because it's more of geography than how these seeding it 1 through 32.
Yeah, and they said that they're going to keep in place that 400-mile radius to be able to bust teams when possible. But I know Nebraska's been, my first year here, they had to go to Arkansas, which was just a lot of people unhappy about that. So needed to be some changes. I don't know. We'll see if this helps a little bit, but still trying to avoid those conference matchups and replaying each other right there in the first round and all of that. So we'll see if that continues to maybe help this out. And then I guess we never talked to you about this because some of the news that is coming out about it's expanding the basketball tournaments, and they just ruled that not for this year. It's not going to happen. Nick is adamantly against it, not a fan of expanding it. How do you feel about that?
The NCAA men's and women's basketball
tournament, yeah.
I think 68 is a good number. Now you're getting to the point where it's like we're having the same conversation where you hear the Big Ten is floating for football 24 to 28 teams. Now you're starting to have the conversation, is it necessary to have this, middle of the pack ACC team or lower third to middle of the pack Big Ten team make the NCAA tournament? Is that necessarily worth it if we're adding extra teams to the NCAA? I feel like 68 is a good number. You have the first 4 where you're even getting in borderline teams at that point. I think, last year, North Carolina was one of those bubble teams, I think, basically based on brand alone. And if you're adding teams, they would have gotten in last year where they did not deserve to be an NCAA. I think you're getting probably in the end more Power 4 teams into the field that necessarily haven't deserved that option to get into the field.
I don't know. It's fine as it is. Don't keep watering it down. But hey, that means more money.
Now I'm for 16, 20 college football playoff teams for football.
Okay.
I'm for that. I think 12 is a good number as it is right now. But I think we always say, okay, when does it end? Is it going to be 24? Is it going to be 28? Is it going to be 32? We can keep going on and on. But I think 12 is a good number right now. I think eventually we will get to 16. I think that's going to happen.
I think 16 is a sweet spot.
16 is the funny thing is that we said a couple, before the 12-team playoff format that
was the sweet spot.
That was the sweet spot. 12 is perfect. It's perfect. And then now we're at 16. I think eventually we'll probably get to 20, like low 20s. I think that's eventually what we might land on
Like
down the line.
Like the men's basketball tournament, 68 teams.
Yeah.
Just the whole season is a tournament.
I don't know if you're a fan, Jess, of The Onion. It's like a satirical news agency.
I used to, it's an email, right?
Yeah, I think there's an email newsletter,
Okay.
but also there's an Onion Sports where it's like these guys, they break it down like it's Sports Center, but it's the Onion version. It's like the NCAA tournament's moving to 4,000 teams, and they're talking about like this Division III team. Like, I think Flagler College, they got it this year. Like they're a good 1,116 seed. But yeah, money's money, right? So money drives a lot of these conversations.
Do need to make an announcement here. We had teased last night, talked about this week that Coach Rule was going to be on for his first radio appearance tomorrow, but we are going to ship that. It's going to be Thursday. So they had a team event, and it works better for him to come in on Thursday night. So we were talking about that last night. He will be making his first appearance on Thursday.
First coaches show of the year for Coach Rule. First coaches show for me. You'll be on it as well. So excited to, you can hear from us until we're blue in the face. We've seen a lot of practice, and we have projections of what our two deeps are. But it's good to hear from the coach who's around these players and in meetings and knows everything about them and can give us a little bit more perspective that you can't get anywhere else.
I know you'd probably appreciate it too deep, but like what questions right now are burning you to be answered right at this point?
Why do you feel this team is in a good spot to take that necessary year 3 jump? I think there's a lot of things that you can point to in the roster, in recruiting. I think the talent's different. From a strength standpoint, they're at a really good spot. But why does Coach Rule feel like from an on-field standpoint, a chemistry standpoint, a coaching standpoint, a lot of people – there's a joke that's going on Twitter right now that there was a mistake for a graphic that Nebraska is now an SEC dark horse, but a lot of people in the media have Nebraska as the dark horse of the Big Ten.
It's coming out more and more.
It's crazy.
Bruce Feldman had one. I've seen like 3 or 4 in the last couple of days.
I don't know if it was one media pundit that did it, that
And
all
then
of a sudden
everybody-
they were on the bandwagon and then everybody was jumping. Like Josh Pate I was talking to Troy Dennon the other day. I was like, did you see Josh Pate, who's a very popular media guy for college football? He has Nebraska as an 11 seed going to South Bend in the 6-11 game in the college football playoff. So I feel like the hype is getting more and more national now. But for Coach Rule, why is it? What does he see in this team? And then some of the newcomers, like what does he see in a Dane Key in his leadership? Dylan Raiola, I think we almost have gotten to a point where we're expecting him to be this guy. What's the work that has gone into Dylan now, where you just shoe him in, where he's going to be this all Big Ten quarterback and he's going to be this leader? So the running back room, I'm very interested to see. He said a lot about Mekhi Nelson in the media and Isaiah Mosey, and now Quentin Ives is back. How has he seen the running back room maybe change over fall camp and how these guys perform? The first time I talked to him, at least in a formal setting, he said the defensive line was hell on wheels. How is that? Has it adjusted at all? Has it even ramped up from those words that you told us before fall camp about how he sees that front line group on the defense? So there's a lot of things that I don't think we'll cover everything in that hour when we talk to him.
No, but I guess I more so is personnel-wise. Like at this point, what are your burning questions with this roster and how they run it out there?
I don't know necessarily what he will tell us on the radio, right? Like maybe there's a chance he might tell us off the air, but I don't necessarily know what he'd be willing to tell us on the air. And
I'm just saying, you personally, radio show aside, like
Okay.
what are you personnel-wise still questions that you are like, okay,
tackle.
Yeah.
Tackle for me. Just seeing how that has rotated a little bit over the last week or so. Right tackle is still the same question mark that we had at the start of fall camp. I think left tackle, there's a deeper conversation to be had. I don't think the offensive line is set. That was said by Coach Rule in the press conference that it's still an evaluation in process. Donovan Raiola said that we probably won't have it set until game day. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. But I think those tackle positions, for me, are still very much up in the air. And that's the most intriguing spot left.
So you had mentioned earlier, we got to clear this up. If it's all over social media. Camden actually showed it to me, and then it was quite funny how much it blew up. But the ESPN was doing, I guess, a preview show with Greg McElroy, and they did him dirty. That's what you were talking about, that he was talking about Nebraska, and very highly so, but it was also, and the graphic underneath it said that they were part of the SEC, so people having a heyday with that today.
Yeah, it was
not on him.
TV is a team sport. As you know, as I know, we've all worked in it. You could be as good as you possibly want to be on television, but if one little link in the chain is a little bit off, then it becomes a viral moment. And Greg McElroy, welcome to the internet. Nebraska is now an SEC dark horse. It looks like I'm going back to the SEC, Jess. So
I mean, yeah, they're being talked about everywhere, even in SEC conversations, apparently.
I'd prefer if Nebraska was a little bit more under the radar heading. I don't know where it all has come from out of nowhere. We knew.
I'll tell you my kind of guess on this. I think Coach Rule is not. He's very innovative in the way that he's not afraid to be out there and to put himself out there. And so he goes on Pat McAfee. You see him on WWE, and you see him at all these places. He's on stage at concerts, and he's posting about it. And then they're so innovative in the way that social media is. But then also he has the track record. Like, I've had a few people from Oklahoma that, Oklahoma fans saw firsthand the turnaround that Baylor made in 3 years and the battles that OU and Baylor had while Coach Rule was there. So I had people reaching out to me from Oklahoma talking about year 3 with Coach Rule. And so I think it's proven that in year 3 he's been able to make drastic changes. I also think because he's so likable and he puts himself out there that people want him to be good and want Nebraska to be good. And then you have the history and tradition of Nebraska. Everybody says that college football is better when Nebraska's in that conversation. So I think it's a little bit of belief in what Coach Rule has done in the past, and then also just Nebraska and that the topic of having them being relevant and in this kind of conversation. But I think people want to root for Coach Rule, and they really like the things that they've seen coming out of this program under him.
I think in the 2 years, the evidence is there that there's progress, right? So last year, you make your first bowl game since 2016. There's that linear progression. And then you're right, that national storyline of the third year of Matt Rule, you take this massive jump. He did so at Temple and at Baylor. But two of the key pieces that you need in a college program are here. That's the coach and the quarterback. And Nebraska has both. You have the highly touted quarterback that had a full season to learn, that you get the sense that he's going to have a big year. And then everyone believes Matt Rule as a college coach has been proven consistently to be a winner. And then, okay, people look at those two things, coach and quarterback, and then they look around the room and they say, oh, Dane Key's here. He was one of the top wide receivers in the SEC. Oh, Emmett Johnson, he's somebody who, if you watch the last 4 games of the year for Nebraska, he was a legitimate hard runner. And then you look a little bit closer, you say, oh, Dana Holgerson's here, and he's calling the plays. They took a big leap in the last quarter of the season since he took over the play calling duties. So all these things start to add up, and then you look at the rest of the Big Ten as well, and you say, okay, where does it stack up with the Illinois and the Indianas? Why can't Nebraska be Indiana from last year? Similar talent. You have, if you stack up the coaches and Kurt Cignetti and Matt Rule, you feel like Coach Rule is proven as a winner. So all those things add up for me to say, okay, Nebraska can take a giant leap. And then once people start to peel these layers back, you start to see why this is a dark horse team.
Carter Burnside on the text line has a text for you. He said, Kyle, you're doing a great job. Looking forward to listening to you this football season. Greg Sharp would be proud of you filling his shoes.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very, very nice. I got an email today from a listener. Pull it up here in my email. I believe it was Michelle. Michelle sent me an email saying that very, very similar. she listens to the show every single night and doing a great job, you and Jess, and enjoy watching the show. So it was nice.
It's funny because we have conversations a lot off air about, can we just kick this thing off already?
Yes. It's how many more preview shows do I have in me? The answer is, how many days we got left? We got, 9 days till kickoff, minus the 2 for weekend days. I got like 7 preview shows.
We don't have a show on
left
Friday because of volleyball. And then, Thursday we'll have Coach on. And then we have our picks segment is returning. And Camden had a great idea about the finale of Joke of the Week, which is not done completely, but we're just going to retire it for at least a little bit. But he had an idea to have the big dog deliver the Joke of the Week finale. And I asked Jeremiah, he said, oh, geez, LOL. So we have to maybe talk him into it. So.
And we have the pick segment coming up, so that would be the perfect segue.
So he could just tie, at the end of the pick segment, since it's a shorter one, he could tie in, throw it to break with the Joke of the Week,
Well, I don't know if he's going to top mine, but he could certainly try. We'll let the big dog bark. I mean, that's a brand name to have end Joke of the Week for you. I mean, you really want to put this dagger into Joke of the Week.
No,
it's my
let's bring
favorite
it back
segment.
On, maybe Fridays and bye weeks, all that. It's not done. It's just we're going to
Fridays when we're never on the air. You secretly want to kill this thing.
Searles constantly sends me. Have you seen the people that go on stick horses and jump fences and
it's a sport.
Yeah.
Equestrian?
But they're not on real horses. They're on the
stick with the horse head on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of obsessed with that. He always sends me videos of that. Fun fact about Searles.
Interesting.
We laugh about it. He's pretty funny, but I don't know if he's a dad joke kind of guy.
No.
So we'll see.
Is he a dry, sarcastic humor kind of guy like me? Are we different in that regard?
No, he's definitely not. He's not dry, but
okay.
He's funny in his own way. It's just not like a one-liner type of
offensive line guy.
Yeah.
Funny. By the way, we're matching today. I didn't realize that until I looked down on the.
Hey, we're ready for the blackout already. So.
I'm ready to go. We gotta take a deep breath.
I don't even know what we just talked about. We did a lot. We talked about softball, baseball.
I rambled for a little bit there.
The Giants, Coach Rule. I mean, how many topics can we get in one segment? The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. When we come back, we're going to continue our preview of Cincinnati. Kyle's going to dive in to the tight ends and wide receivers coming up next.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series, Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Mike Shepard or Craig Kerr in Lincoln, or Agent Jeff Martinez in Omaha today.
Step into a new era of luxury at Infinity of Omaha. Browse our inventory and enjoy special financing and limited time offers happening now. Receive 0% APR for 60 months or $6,000 in summer bonus cash on all 2025 Infinity QX60 inventory. Visit our showroom or shop online today at infinityofomaha.com with approved credit, tax, title, license extra. When financed with Infinity Financial Services, $299 doc fee due at signing. VIN number SC359090. Offer expires 9/2/2025. See dealer for details.
Grit, precision, results. That's Husker football and our approach to retirement. Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Local advisors, relentless focus, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. And let's talk some more Cincinnati, some more preview.
Before we get there, people have spoken.
Well, I was not going to read this on the air, but Kyle's going to throw me under the bus.
People have spoken.
It's Art in Los Angeles, but I feel like he says, I'm protesting. Do not kill joke of the week. Jessica, how about letting listeners deliver the joke of the week? But Art's one that he just wants B jokes.
Look, jokes are jokes. Funny's funny. And look, I just so the people know, joke of the week, it'll be going away. It won't be full-time anymore, but just know, people out there, that I fought tooth and nail to keep joke of the week going. And Jessica just kept saying, no, we can't do it. We can't do it. So just know that, I tried.
Gaslighting me right now. You are, now I'm saying it's Jessica the Grinch? Come on.
Yes.
Come on, people.
It is Jessica who stole Christmas.
If enough people weigh back in and want us to bring it back, we'll continue it. But we've got picks. We've got a lot of things. We've got the blitz. Camden's going to be taking on the blitz.
We got to let the big dog bark. And that's what we're going to do.
But he's going to struggle.
He's going to bark. He ain't going to laugh, though.
Art says, Kyle, you're my favorite all time. He tells everybody that. Coatney's his favorite. Ben's his favorite.
She
Nick's
couldn't
his
let
favorite.
me have it. She couldn't let me have it, guys. Art had spoken, and Jessica just had to
He
take
took a
it
selfie
away.
with Nick. He's met Coatney. Sam in Omaha. Appreciate you.
Now the
Jessica,
chat,
you are our fearless leader. Thank you, Sam.
the chat's turning on you. I wouldn't look in the chat if I were you. You want to just get up. You want to, as Bill Belichick would say, go on to Cincinnati because this is tough for you right now.
I mean, we'll pivot if we have enough.
You sure you want to pivot to the Cincinnati wide receiving room? Because I can do that.
No, I'm saying I'll pivot my decision if enough people tell us that they want joke of the week.
Okay, just know that I tried, guys.
So, all right, let's talk some Bearcats.
Okay.
We're talking some tight ends and wide receivers, and you are very, very, very high on the Bearcats tight end.
Yes, Joe Royer could be. I was looking today at mock drafts. It has him going in the final pick, Joe Royer, 6-year tight end. He's back home, Cincinnati, Ohio native, former Ohio State Buckeye, but it has him going at the final pick of the first round. So you could have, I think there's 2 high-round guys on this roster. One we'll get into later in the week in Dante Corleone, who's their nose tackle. But Joe Royer is every bit possibly of a first-round NFL talent. So last year he had 50 catches that set a single-season Cincinnati record, which broke the record of we all know him as Taylor Swift's boyfriend and Travis Kelce, who had 45 catches. That was a record back in 2012. First-team All-Conference. He's a Mackey watch list guy for the best tight end in the country. You know, he's stepped away from football for a year. His mom actually had passed away, so he stepped away from football and he had 3 years at Ohio State and decided that he wanted to stay around home. And so he's now heading into his 6 years. Possibility he could have went into the draft last year as opposed to coming back to college. But I was reading today that the old motto of unfinished business for him. So that's huge. They get somebody like that back.
Do they have like what Nebraska has where you have different tight ends that they can utilize, or will it just be all him all the time?
I think it'll mostly be him that sees the majority of the snaps, but they have 2 other guys that you might see. They have a 6-year tight end. What's interesting, they have in their skill position room, they have 3 players that are Ohio State transfers. So 2 running backs, and Patrick Gerd is another tight end. That's a 6-year tight end transfer from Ohio State. He was a tight end, fullback hybrid, so sort of an H-back role. Played 27 games with the Buckeyes, was there for 5 years, so he was a part of that national championship team last year. Played 14 games, not really a huge part, only 1 catch last year. And also Gavin Grover is the youngest in that room. He made a start last year, played in 12 games. He'll have a bigger role, I would presume, this year. So much like Nebraska, it's not as deep in terms of the talent that you're going to see for the Huskers, but you could see all 3 of those tight ends at one point.
So you brought this up last night, potentially a good matchup for Javen Wright.
Javen Wright, yeah.
And guess who's going to be our first Cornhusker conversation
Javen Wright.
So
I love it. Might as well have on Agent Zero. I want let me talk to Javen, see if we can use Agent Zero as a nickname.
Oh, so you are gonna do the nicknames.
Nicknames. I do know this. I talked to Dylan Raiola a couple times, and he's big on DR15.
Okay.
DR15. Dane Key is just too good not to have something there because you have the last name Key, and so we'll see. We're workshopping it.
Okay, so if last night we talked to the quarterback who is very good, capable of maybe doing both, hurting you with your feet, but Brendan Sorsby, a little bit maybe held back by not having some targets on the outside. They went out in the portal and they addressed that need. Cincinnati did with the wide receiver group.
Looking through it, they don't return a single receiver with more than 25 yards receiving.
Wow.
So it's an entirely new room. Xavier Henderson was their top target. You're right. They didn't have a guy last year that could blow the top off of a defense, and that's really where Sorsby struggled. He had a low, you don't have a great completion percentage in balls over 20-plus yards, but his was not good. It was sub 30%. It was more of a dink and dunk offense when it came to the passing game. So brand new room for them, and the 3 big names that you have to remember, Cyrus Allen. So that name might be familiar to Nebraska fans. He was here with Louisiana Tech. So he started at Louisiana Tech, and he came from Texas A&M. But he had a game against Nebraska September 23rd of 2023. So you remember that game well. You covered it. 6 catches, 102 yards, and had a 100-yard kickoff return called back via penalty. And then last year had his best year with Texas A&M, had arm surgery late in the year. So This is his senior year. He's expected to probably be their number one target. Caleb Goody, transfer from Colorado State, is a blur. Fast. Think of Tyreek Hill when he played in Kansas City. That kind of, you think of some of the greats that play in that stadium in terms of speed. Caleb Goody, that is his superpower. He's incredibly fast, 21 catches last year for Colorado State. And then Jeff Caldwell also is an interesting story because he comes from Lindenwood, and he was not recruited coming out of high school. He was 5'8", heading into his shout out to Short Kings out there. He was 5'8", heading into his senior year of high school. He had a growth spurt, Jess, where he was 6'5", leaving high school. So with that, he wasn't recruited by Power 4 Group of 5 schools, and he put up monster. No, he was in the OVC, so that's FCS Lindenwood. It's in the St. Louis area. Last year had over 1,000 yards receiving, 53 catches, was an FCS All-American, explosive guy, also has speed, averaged 19 yards per catch, and he was a finalist for FCS Player of the Year. I think those three, Cyrus Allen, Caleb Goody, and Jeff Caldwell, those are the three big targets. They have a lot more speed and a lot more big play capability with the wide receivers.
There might be some positions that don't translate as well from one to the other, like a Lindenwood to Cincinnati, but a wide receiver is that. And Nebraska's had a couple of those in recent years, including like Samori Toure, who ended up playing at the next level for a while too. So, there's some guys that can, a wide receiver can absolutely make that leap.
And Jeff Caldwell, to that point of his speed, he topped out 22 miles an hour, a broad jump of 11 foot 9 inches. That would have been the best at the NFL Combine this year.
Wow.
So, like, all those tangible things are there, and that's great. But just like we talk about with Nebraska, once the lights are bright and you're playing on ESPN and you're the only game, like, are they too bright for some of these players that were in the FCS a year ago? Those are things you don't necessarily know until you start playing games.
Sounds like they didn't scrimmage well.
Yeah, they didn't. Apparently, they were very sloppy. I think their final scrimmage was on Friday when Nebraska's was on Saturday. So I think Nebraska had some of the same issues that Coach Rule had said. There were a lot of penalties and issues, but there was a lot of sloppiness, according to Scott Satterfield, their head coach, in their final scrimmage. So not great news for them heading into the game, but Nebraska will take it.
Sicilian on the chat said, Cincinnati scares me with these Ohio State players plus an experienced quarterback. That, to me, is more scary than anything when you have an experienced quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, he comes from...
Same thing for them about Dylan. I mean, it's just when you face those kind of quarterbacks that have been in the fire, they know what to expect when they go out there.
It's a quarterback that is incredibly capable. You're used to easing into a season playing a smaller FBS school or an FCS school. That is not the case here. You're getting a guy who, we mentioned some of the numbers last year, but in his career, he's thrown for nearly 4,500 yards. He was a starter for a season with Indiana, so he's played in the Big Ten. He understands what it takes to, didn't have a whole lot of success that season. He only has 2 wins all time against Power Conference, Power 4 teams, so he's going to have to do something that he hasn't done a whole lot, but he has 19 Power 4 starts under his belt. So, he has experience for sure.
Jim Briggs says 3 interceptions by the Black Shirts. I'll take that.
You think so? Jim Briggs he's a positive guy.
He also wrote your song, so
did.
You like everything he says.
I'm a big fan of Jim. I'm a big fan of art. I think, you know what, if we ask Jim his opinion, he loves Joke of the Week.
All right, we got to get to a break. Coming up next, we're going to continue our newcomer series with Husker women's basketball. Alanna Neale, the only freshman on this squad. We're going to hear from her. So keep it here. And I see a couple texts rolling in. We'll get to those as well. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
This summer, step into elevated luxury at Woodhouse Lincoln. Right now, during the Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event, you'll receive 0% APR for up to 48 months on all 2025 Lincoln Nautilus inventory, plus an available 90-day deferred first payment and a 2-year 25,000 miles premium maintenance plan included. Browse our inventory in-store or online today. Woodhouse Lincoln, the Omaha Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer. With approved credit, must finance with Lincoln Automotive Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires August 31st, 2025. See dealer for details.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Jan from Toyota here with live coverage of end of summer fun at Toyota's national sales event with my special guest, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Jan. Let's get into it.
Down by the lake for some fishing, we've got Eric in his Tundra. He throws his line, and he's going long!
Heck of a team effort there. That Tundra got him exactly where he needed to be.
There's excitement in the stadium parking lot with the Davis family tailgating in their new Sequoia.
All eyes are on Dad manning the grill. He grabs some buns from the cargo area of the Sequoia and flips. And look at that! What a way to close this one out.
Sure was, Eli. Until next time, go Toyota!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Matt Moorhead or Joanne Shamanek in Lincoln or Scott Jeffers in McCook today.
Shop Woodhouse Mazda during the Mazda More to Move You sales event. Receive 1.9% APR for 60 months on the full lineup of 2025 Mazda CX-50s and Mazda CX-50 hybrids, plus no payments for 90 days. Visit us in Bellevue or off 144th and Giles Road today. With approved credit, tax title license extra. When financed through Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 9/2/25. See dealer for details.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Kyle Crooks is on timeout currently, so we are going to continue our newcomer series of conversations with the newcomers of Husker women's basketball. Tonight, the lone freshman on the squad this year, but she's a good one. Alanna Neale, they are excited about her, so here's my conversation with her. Welcome. I know you've been here for a few months, though, but the lone freshman for the Huskers, how has that been for you, being the young one out there?
It's definitely been an adjustment, but I'm just loving it. So,
out of Los Angeles, California, you played for Powerhouse High School, but how has Lincoln been, going from LA to Lincoln?
Great. It's going great. I love the country life. I'm actually born in Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
Yes. I lived a couple other places as well, but Oklahoma is my place. So.
Okay, so I'm from Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay.
Where were you born?
I was born in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so I came from there. So
okay, wow.
Oklahomies here.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, just let's go through your recruiting process. You're, again, highly recruited. You start getting these offers coming in. Just take me through that process, what it was like and what you were looking for where you wanted to play college basketball.
Right. So I wanted to find a school that fits for me, wants to push me, see me succeed in this sport, and as well as the academic, and a family environment. Honestly, this was like a home away from home. I'm 19 hours away from home, so it's definitely been an adjustment with this team, but it's a great adjustment, and I love it here. So,
how did your parents take you being this far away from home?
They were sad. They were really sad, but they wanted to see me, go out and do my own thing, and so, yeah.
Okay, so when you come here and you visit here, you said the family feel, but what else did you like about, just the system, why you felt like your game would translate, just overall everything that kind of went into your decision that you fell in love with Nebraska?
The campus, it's amazing. Honestly, I've never seen a campus like this. Everything is new. There's construction, so that means they're just continuing to grow, and yeah.
What about just the facilities over there that you got to take in?
Amazing. Oh my gosh. The food, the stations, like it's amazing.
Oh, that's great. Do you have a favorite food that you always go to at the training table, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not really. They have a lot of varieties. Like, it's crazy how much they change every day.
So you're not a picky eater?
No.
No.
I eat everything.
So you'll try everything?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so just getting into basketball. Take me back to your start. How you fell in love with the sport?
Grew up around basketball. My dad, he played at University of New Mexico, and then my mom played at a school in Kentucky. Then my dad played overseas and the NBA Development League. So I've been around basketball all my life. So just grew up with it. So.
What were some of the things that your parents instilled in you early that helped you develop into the player that you became?
Just continue to work hard, regardless how hard it gets. Just continue to keep God first and keep working. So, yeah.
Are they tough critics? What kind of coaches are they for you?
They're tough critics, but they also know how to play, so they understand to, loosen up some. So, yeah.
How helpful was that when you start deciding that maybe I want to play college basketball, that you had parents that had been through it that could kind of maybe advise you along the way?
It's been great. Honestly, they've just been telling me what I need to hear and how to grow as a woman of God, and yeah.
Okay, so you played at Ontario Christian, who's known, they're a national powerhouse program. What was that like with, and how did that help you develop playing at such a high-level high school?
It helped me tremendously. All the traveling, all the preparing, all the practices, all of that is helping me here. So, yeah.
What was it like, too, when you guys are just, battling it out with some of the best in the country? What, just in high school, that competition, what was that like when you had to face that kind of competition?
It was tough. Gritty, hard. You just got to keep pushing through, honestly. Yeah.
Okay, so you get here. How was it? With basketball, you guys can practice and be on the court together. So when those first few practices, how would you describe those?
It was pretty gritty. It was hard. It was tough. Yeah.
How did you feel like your game translated immediately?
Here?
Yeah.
Just continuing to fight, honestly. Just to keep your head up over the water, honestly. So.
Yeah, that was Alanna Neale, the freshman of Husker women's basketball. Some news today being released about opening night, so something that they've done to kick off the Husker hoop season, combining men's and women's basketball. Last year they moved it to the rail yard, Kyle, and it was awesome. It was really cool. They had a court down there, did some cool things. It was a great atmosphere. But it's coming up Friday, September 19th, so opening night presented by Shields. So you want to be down there. It looks like it starts at 6:30, and it's free to the public, so a fun night for the family to get down there and meet the teams.
This will be right around where I live, so I'm just going to walk over
on
there,
down.
and I'll shoot some hoops over there, show some skills.
I'm sure you will.
Oh, you know what? You've been mean today.
You have instigated all of it.
You've been mean today. Look, We don't have a whole lot of time, but we got to talk about what's happening in the chat because there's a lot of things happening right now. There's an uprising.
We got to pay the bills first. An
uprising.
We'll get to a break. When we come back, we'll fill you in. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Tanya Blaine in Norfolk, Grant Wilbeck in Omaha, or Bud Morrell in Okalala.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. So we've got a lot to get to here and only 2 minutes left here in this final segment. A couple texts rolled in. John in Omaha said, I don't care what the publication is, the association or whoever is talking about it. It's nice to hear the Huskers back in the conversation of ranked teams. It's been so long. So excited for a week from Thursday night. Go Big Red. So I agree. It's just the fact that they're in those kinds of conversations.
Yeah, big reason why is Matt Rule. He's a winner. He's just very good at getting his message across. He's a great recruiter. He's a winner. He's a great coach. And there's a reason why Nebraska's back in the national consciousness.
And then Steve weighs in about Joke of the Week. He said you could do Joke of the Week or Joke of the Day every day from the end of baseball season until the start of fall camp. After that, there should be plenty of real things to talk about.
Well, you know
every
what?
day?
I think every hour. I think one per segment for the entire year.
Well, the feud in the chat, according to Jim, has also become the Joke of the Week.
Yeah, we're putting a line in the sand right now. You're either Team Kyle or Team Jess, and there's a real feud. There's division that's taking place right now in this chat, and it's getting ugly in there. But that's what I do. I'm a disruptor. That's on my resume.
Did you drink the coffee again?
No.
You're like
This
on
is
one
natural.
tonight.
I started taking vitamin B12 again, so maybe that's good.
What about honey? What wasn't it Rudy?
And I think it was in the back of my mind from when that was brought
Rudy
up.
in Florida. He said honey and vitamin B.
No, just
vitamin B.
Just vitamin B. No honey. No hot water. I think maybe that's it. All I know is this chat may get ugly here over the next couple of weeks. We need football because there's a war that's about to break out in the chat.
Texted in, no need to get ugly. It's not. It's all in good fun. All in good fun. All right, that is going to do it for us. Appreciate Danny Busboom Kelly stopping by for her first show of her head coaching career here at Nebraska. We'll have many more of those. JB will be in next week with her as well. And then we're moving the football show Thursday night. Matt Rule will be here live in studio. So that's going to do it for us. Thanks to David, Camden, and Kyle, and Jessica. Talk to you tomorrow night here on Sports Nightly for a full 2 hours.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Experience exceptional quality and lasting value at Woodhouse Toyota. Lease the 2025 Toyota Corolla Hybrid XLE forward-wheel drive for $250 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Visit us in-store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at woodhousetoyota.com. Woodhouse Toyota. Let's go places. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. Security deposit waived. $24.99 down payment plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GT25021.